Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be taking a look at 30 more things you can do after you beat the game. So 2 things before we get started. Number 1, if you live in the US, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully having an awesome day, spending it with friends, family, having a good time, relaxing, whatever the case is. And number 2, I took your suggestions from the first video, and we're going to be focusing on less story-driven things. So for example, today we're going to be focusing on more just sort of fun, random things that you can do that you might not have thought of during the course of Red Dead Redemption 2. So anyways, let's dive into it today and let's get it started. Number 1, be nice to a pet. So you can actually find dogs and cats throughout the world, and you can be nice to them, or you can be mean to them if you want, but that's not as wholesome. And if you find a dog, you can actually run up to it, pat it, pet it. It's really cool, and it's nice to just sort of take a break from the gunslinging of Red Dead Redemption 2 and just pet a dog for a little bit. So that's quite nice and wholesome. Number 2 today, canoe down a river, or bonus points if you can find a waterfall. So if you head to the Dakota River, you should find canoes all over the place, and you can actually go down some of the crazy waterfalls in-game, like Cumberland Falls, and a whole lot more. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like this game's version of whitewater rafting. Just be careful, though, because if you're at the end of the game, you're going to be playing as John, and as I'm sure you know, he doesn't swim all that well. So that's something to keep in mind. Number 3, feed someone to Alligator. So if you're in the bayou, if you're in Saint Denis, and you're feeling like someone is deserving of being fed to the gators, well, that's what you can do. You can just hog tie them and drop them in the water or next to their gator location, and they will gobble them up for lunch or dinner. Just be careful that you don't get too close. Otherwise, you will become dinner as well. Number 4 today, put someone in a geyser. So at this place called like Corona Springs, there's actually these geysers that will erupt and explode about once a minute. And if you go in them, you will die. So I thought to myself, what would happen if you put someone in a geyser? What would happen? Well, it turns out that they die as well. And if you get it just right, you can get their body to sort of fly up into the air as the water sort of erupts or the steam erupts, whatever it is. So that's pretty cool. This area is really neat. You should totally check it out, and you're going to have a lot of fun with these geysers. You just need to be super careful. Number 5 today, go on a spending spree. So as you know, when you complete Epilogue Part 2, you get yourself a nice bit of money, and you'll probably be able to go spend it on items that you might have been saving from the beginning of the game, or you just might not have bought because you were short on cash. So go wild, go have fun, go to all the stores in Saint Denis and just go crazy and start buying all the things that you did not during the first part of the game. Number 6, have fun with cheats. So cheats are really cool. There's a lot of epic ones that you can use. Now, some will require that you find a newspaper, but these cheats, for example, can make you drunk instantly, can give you a war horse, can spawn a circus wagon, can create a buggy. So like lots of little things you can do to ultimately just have fun. Number 7 today, blow up a train. So there's a lot of things you can do with dynamite, but one of the most satisfying is to literally blow up a train. Bonus points if you're able to do it while it's still like in motion, while it's still driving. I had this one stopped because I was robbing it, but nonetheless, it's still cool to see the locomotive just erupt into a ball of fire. So blow up a train. It's fun. Number 8 today, get into a bar fight. So I'm sure you guys have actually probably witnessed something like this happen in real life. Bar fights are pretty common, and they were definitely common in 1899. So whether it's in Valentine or whether it's in Saint Denis, just go into a bar and get into a fist fight with someone. It's fun, and you can blow off a lot of steam as well. At the number 9 spot today, craft some clothing. So for this, you'd want to go to the Trapper, and hopefully you have a couple of perfect or legendary pelts at your disposal, because this is how you would ultimately craft these rare and unique items that you cannot get at something like a general store or a tailor. And oftentimes they're really cool, like upgrades to your hats, super unique vests, chaps, and other accessories that you can wear, and they look really neat. So this is something you should totally go out of your way to do. I know the trappers, at least except in Saint Denis, are not in convenient locations, but you can create some ultra cool stuff. Number 10 today, use a new type of ammo. So if you were cruising through the game, you probably didn't think about the ammo you could use, whether it's express or high velocity, or whether it's something like explosive ammo. Use that and have a lot of fun with it because the effects are all different. Like you can dismember people, you can light them on fire. It's really cool to see all the different types of ammo you can use and craft. So do that. It's a lot of fun. Number 11 today, rob a bank. So you don't have to be a part of a mission to rob a bank, but be warned, it's a bank. It's going to have a lot of security. So this is something that isn't just going to be something you can like waltz into and do pretty easily. You might want to come with a lot of firepower and you might want to do it at sort of an off hour. Don't just run there in the middle of the day and expect you're going to be able to get away with it. But robbing banks, nonetheless, still a lot of fun. Number 12 today, investigate the stores. Like, for example, this general store in Strawberry, this dude was making moonshine in his basement. And you can actually go in there once you find out that information and you can rob the store owner, but you can rob them for what they're hiding underneath. And this guy had like a moonshine factory with lots of goods and supplies and money in the wall. So that was really cool. You should do that in all the cities in the game. Number 13 today, change your hair or beard. Like I said, there's a good chance you went through the whole game without really altering your beard or your hairstyle one bit. Play around with it. Give John a buzz cut, grow his beard out all the way. Doesn't matter what you guys do, but just make it fun and change the beard or hair a little bit. Number 14 today, get your fortune told. So in the bayou in the swamp area, there's this soothsayer lady who will tell you your fortune. Now, whether or not any of this is accurate or comes true is unknown to me, but you can still have your fortune told by a soothsayer in Red Dead Redemption 2, which is kind of cool, a little bit creepy as well, but definitely gives off that swamp Saint Denis vibe. Number 15 today, we're halfway through it. Find a guy who worships the sun. So in New Austin, there is literally a guy who worships the sun. I don't know why. I don't know if this is some crazy, strange new religion, but whatever the case is, this guy probably has some serious sunburn. And you can actually talk to him and have a pretty fun conversation. So if you want something interesting to talk about, find the guy that looks up at the sky and worships the sun. Also in New Austin, at the number 16 spot today, find the Tumbleweed Sheriff. This guy you do not want to mess with. He is like a serious Terminator and is one that you should probably not cross. Like out of all the sheriffs in the game, this is like the one guy I would not want to bump into. In fact, he's actually a special character in game. Like some towns will just have deputies and sheriffs. Like this guy has an official title, Tumbleweed Sheriff. He's a special character that you can run into. So if you made it to Tumbleweed, go check out this guy. It's pretty cool. Number 17 today, go back and visit old Easter eggs. So for example, you guys know the crazy girl that was trapped in the Braithwaite's outhouse during the game? Well, if you go back there in the epilogue, which of course is like 7 years later, they didn't take her out. She is literally a skeleton. So it's crazy that Rockstar actually updated that Easter egg. She's now no longer alive. And it kind of makes me wonder what other Easter eggs Rockstar have updated to go along with the timeline that has changed as well, in terms of going 7 or 8 years into the future. Number 18 today, get educated on the plague of Armadillo, which apparently is called cholera. And it's this plague or disease that is affecting all of the town of Armadillo. And you can like see people burning bodies. There's like this guy in the front of the general store that will try and educate you on what's going on here. It's pretty insane, but it also gives you some more details on sort of the lore of the world. Number 19 today, go find some gang hideouts. So even after the game, there are gang hideouts that you can infiltrate and raid. And these gang hideouts will typically have a lot of good loot, but also a ton of enemies as well. So it's a great place to get some practice using your new ammo or weapons and also get some nice loot at the same time. Number 20 today, craft the Legend of the East outfit. So the Legend of the East outfit is the ultimate outfit in this game, but it requires you to have all the other upgraded satchels and reinforced equipment. So it's hard to get, but it gives you a ton of bonuses. So this is something that you should do obviously after you've completed the game as sort of one of those collector's piece prizes. So getting the Legend of the East outfit would be a super cool accomplishment. Number 21 today, craft all the talismans and trinkets. So a lot of these trinkets and talismans will give you cool bonuses and perks, but they also require having like legendary animal pieces and unique items in the game and jewelry that you would get off certain players and people. So they are sort of hard to collect, and some of them require specific items, which means you'll have to do and go out and, explore and take on quests and stuff like that. But it should mean that it's pretty fun and definitely give you something to do. Number 22 today, read the newspapers. So the newspapers are cool for two reasons. Number one, they give you sort of intel on side stories that might be going on. Like, for example, what happened to Reverend Swanson? That's just one thing that is pretty cool that you might not have known about. Number two, you can actually find cheat codes, which is something we talked about earlier, hidden within the lines of these newspapers. So that's something you might want to keep in mind as well, that unless you read a certain newspaper, you won't be able to activate a cheat code. Number 23 today, explore the Mineshaft. There's actually like 4 or 5 Mineshafts in Red Dead Redemption 2, and all of them have like unique mysteries or stories behind them. So they're all really cool to check out. I would definitely recommend it. Sometimes you can get cool hats. Sometimes you can get, weapons and items and gold nuggets. So they're definitely worth checking out and exploring, and it's something I would recommend doing. Number 24 today, steal a boat. Just make sure it works. I tried to steal this boat and it did not work. I don't know why. And this is a problem, especially when you're playing as John, because as I mentioned earlier, he can't swim. So that's kind of bad if you get yourself on a boat and it doesn't end up working. But there's a lot of cool boats in this game that you can actually pilot or drive. I don't know what would be the correct term there, but you can use them and they actually navigate the waters. So steal a boat. It is kind of fun. Number 25 today, go to the butcher. Like, that is like the one place I did not go to on my main campaign. And I don't know why. I mean, I never really sold anything there and I never really bought any meat there. So just check it out. Maybe it's something that you would want to do. I'm not sure, but it's probably my least visited place in the game. So might as well go there. Number 26 today, go check out the areas of the map that might have changed. So there's a lot of dynamic areas in Red Dead Redemption 2. For example, the Appleseed Timber Company. In the beginning of the game, it's full of trees. And by the epilogue, obviously they're a timber company. There's no more trees because they've cut everything down. There's a couple of examples like this in-game that you can check out. And it's really cool to see how things have changed since Chapter 2. Number 27 today, Hogtie Someone on the train tracks. Bonus points if it's someone that deserves it, like a KKK member. But this is always a ton of fun, and when you see the train run them over, it's always very satisfying. And this was actually an achievement in the first Red Dead Redemption game, but it wasn't one in this game. I'm really not too sure why. But either way, hog-tying someone to the train tracks is always a bunch of good fun. Number 28 today, Unblur the Map. So this is kind of hard to explain, but when you haven't visited an area on the map, it's like blurry. It has like this fog over it. Like, for example, I'm still exploring some parts of New Austin, so my map is foggy. But this is something that you can do. Just go around, try and unfog everything. It doesn't really matter, but it's sort of a completionist thing. But I still think that's something that you can do. Number 29 today, explore the islands. So on the Flatwater Lake, there's like a couple of islands that you can go on that might actually have some unique animals, just some cool things hidden on there, collectibles that you might have missed. And there's not really many islands in this game other than Guarma, but that's a special chapter that you go to. So just explore the islands. They're actually a lot of fun to sort of check out. And number 30 today, this is kind of a good way to prepare for Red Dead Online. Race your horse. So there's a couple of NPCs in the game that will want to like race you on your horse. It's something you should do. Like I said, it'll give you a good practice for Red Dead Online, as there's going to be horse races in that multiplayer mode. So it's something you can jump on and ultimately do. But anyways, that right there is 30 more things that you can do after you beat Red Dead Redemption 2. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What are some things that you have done after beating the main campaign? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.